Why can't you just ask her yourself? Because?
Just because.
Fine. Lexi, PB wants to look at Jaal's scans.
PB knows I can't divulge patient information. Ugh, useless. Now orbiting Gadara. This might have been a larger system once, before the Scourge.
As if we needed a better reason to document everything.
I'm picking up something. Probe away. Getting a scan. I'm picking up something. Probe away. Getting a scan. Looks like we're coming up on a blue giant.
From Aya, it's often the brightest star, the first to rise.
I'm picking up something. Probe away. Tracking a huge mineral deposit. Pathfinder, the trap you set in the cargo bay, we got blip. I think something's in there.
Hi there. You must be the one eating all our cereal. Hey, it's okay. No one's going to eat you. You're the most adorable critter I've met in Andromeda so far. I should find you somewhere safer than our cargo bay. How about a nice warm cage in my quarters and all the cereal you can eat? Guess everybody around here needs a home. He must like it in here.
He could use a bath, Ryder.
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
For survival supplies, only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city? I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested quinoa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Settlers on Kadara are suffering from a bacterial infection. They need Angaran antibiotics to fight it. A medic in the city should be able to help.
Got it. They'll have that medicine in no time.
Volt's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find.
Sun-ripened fruit. Take advantage of a rare surplus. That's not good. Do you think the Kett hurt her?
I don't know. Her spirit is still...
No trouble, I see. Good.
You work on the solar panels? Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Any news? Do the numbers look good? I didn't mean the same day. Give it a little time. I was just... thinking more stability.
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Volt.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Invest in your personal protection. Shield yourself.
Ven, thought you'd be in a resistance holding cell.
That was Ephra's plan. He wanted to throw me down a hole once he got his precious answers. The Most Shy convinced him to release me here. I volunteer and they let me see sunlight.
You didn't trade one cell for another after all. And you get fresh air.
And servitude, dressed up like forgiveness. The Most Shy keeps her high ground, and I'm the traitor who gets a second chance.
It's better than what Sloan would have done to you.
Lucky me. I should get back to work. They're not paying me to stand around. Oh, that's right. They're not paying me at all.
Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
I'm not selling to aliens.
Everyone made it back. Hey, Lexi. I tracked down some samples of the Angaran antiseptic you were talking about.
The Angaran antiseptic? Oh, Sumar. That's the name, isn't it?
Something like that.
Can't wait to test its applications. Thank you very much, Vetra.
Anything for the woman who keeps us healthy. I feel so out of place here. People keep staring at me. I can't tell if they're fascinated or afraid.
When I was little, I was scared of Turians. You're a certain species.
Not helping, Ryder.
Store's open.
Something I can do for you?
I'll get moving.
No trouble, I see. Good.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure EOS gets them.
Moved in Vayan to replace them. No, Section 9 is still unstable. They'll be out of food in 2 days. Out of ammo in 3. They have to fall back.
Sounds like you've got trouble.
Too many Kett, not enough resistance. Have a team that's been in the field for 6 months without resupply. They won't come in. Say they're close to taking down a Kett outpost, but I don't know.
If they could do it alone, they would have by now. Send reinforcements.
Hitting the enemy in one place leaves us vulnerable elsewhere. But you're right. This is the hardest part of my job. Thank you for the advice, Pathfinder.
My contact on Kadara Port tells me there's been a change of leadership. One of ours, Kima Dorgan, took over, and you helped her.
Things on Kadara are complicated.
All the same, it's better off without Sloan Kelly. Thanks for that. What do you need?
What's your story, Ephra?
You're not getting my personnel file.
I'd just like to know who I'm working with.
You want to know what it's like being me? I wake up every morning to fight a war. I send people to kill and die. If I'm lucky, there are more dead Kett than resistance when I go to sleep.
That's a hell of a burden.
Enough personal discussion.
I hope the initiative is making a good impression.
The initiative. Sounds so unthreatening, like a city planner meeting.
That's kind of what it's meant to be.
City planners don't walk around in battle armor with rifles on their shoulder.
Depends on the city. My point is, we traveled through dark space to build something here.
That's what invaders always say, at first.
We're not invaders.
Of course.
You've been fighting Kett a long time. Any advice?
Your war's different from ours.
It's still a war, and we're not prepared for it.
Wouldn't matter if you were. The Kett aren't a conventional enemy.
Any idea where they came from? A homeworld somewhere?
Each of our colonies heard a different story. I doubt any were true. They came from far away. That's all we know.
Ever tried following a Kett ship to see where it goes?
Of course we did. Wherever home is, they don't visit.
Do the Kett have a favorite strategy? Something we can exploit?
They switch tactics constantly, almost capricious about it. Makes them unpredictable.
They must have some weakness.
They're vulnerable to brute force. That's enough.
The Kett aren't mindless monsters. They must care about something.
Slaves, resources, power. Same as any conqueror.
You didn't see the exaltation process. They treat it like religion.
They convert us against our will. That's not religion, it's genocide. Every culture has its purpose. Theirs is to take whatever they want.
There's no official Angaran military? Just the Resistance?
Lost our fleets and armies decades ago. Kett mostly. The rest fell to internal strife. We kept fighting, but our civilians were disorganized. Poorly supplied, leaderless. Decades of aimless defiance got us nowhere. I had to make the Resistance real.
I've seen armed people in uniform. They're not Resistance?
Aya police. Purely ornamental. Gives us the appearance of civilization.
You don't think they're necessary?
If things go bad, the Resistance will handle it.
That's up to the governor, isn't it? How is the Resistance organized?
Loosely, we operate in cells. Independent strike teams have better odds. If the Kett capture a cell, it doesn't compromise the rest.
How did you wind up in charge?
Nothing to lose. My family was rounded up into a Kett slave camp. Last contact I had with any of them was 10 years ago.
They could still be alive.
Didn't figure you for an optimist.
What success have you had against the Kett?
Enemy casualties are up 600% in 3 years. But that's just a number. Every time we destroy a facility, take out a warship, we give our people hope.
And you're not fighting alone anymore.
We'll see.
What do you think of your governor?
She governs Aya, not the Resistance.
Way to avoid the question. Is there history between you?
I can always count on Paran to offer a spirited argument.
You respect her?
She holds her own. Not many do.
I'll let you get back to it.
Good.
Inventory's there. Go on and look.
Without food, everyone suffers.
It took humanity 8 years to get a Citadel embassy back home. Pretty impressive to get one here so fast.
All it took was handling some Remnant.
It'll take more to keep this partnership going. Ambassador Riala will handle the embassy. Lets us focus on everything else.
How can I help?
I'll get moving.
Ishari.
My people on Kadara are fighting a bacterial infection. Do you have antibiotics?
Of course. Will this do?
When you did the attack here today, I didn't know if you were.
I know, but I'm here now.
Angel's Day.
Here, I have the antibiotics for Kadara. Will the settlers be okay?
Once they have these, they'll be fine. I'll make sure they know who to thank.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Maya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. 10 out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I assume you're trained for first contact diplomacy.
I'm a social anthropologist with a linguistics background. Close enough for Director Tan. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
I'm not gonna like this, am I?
No more than I do. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
Aside from Sorvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
Pathfinder. The Ambassador's messages are overflowing again.
Enro tells me you've participated in our Little Citizens Forum near the market. Take care with that group's leader. She competed with me for this office. Defeat made her bitter. What can I do for you?
Why didn't you tell me about Kadara Port when I first arrived?
I assumed you already knew. We didn't realize there was a difference between your exiles and the Initiative.
Fair enough.
As for Venturev, Ephra hid his betrayal from everyone. He'll answer for that.
Thanks for your time.
Ishare, Pathfinder.
Well, what do you think?
I could get used to this.
We take turns living here. You can see why.
You're relaxed here. There's a sparkle in your eye.
I am. Thank you. It's nice of you to notice.
You're interesting. I like to notice.
Thank you for making sure that the squad behaves while on Aya.
I don't tell them what to do on their own time.
That's not how Paran sees it. I predict jail in your future.
You have questions? Be quick.
Did you scan me on your own? Or did someone put you up to it? Paran? Ephra?
I'm a scientist. I want to understand anything outside my knowledge and experience.
All that information you collect is for personal use?
Of course not. Angara share knowledge. It's how we survive.
How do you stay busy when you're not scanning strangers from another galaxy?
I research and develop organic tactical equalizers.
That sounds scary.
Only to those who threaten Aya.
What else did your scan reveal about me?
You're strong, tough. But much of Helios is inhospitable to human biology. You won't have it easy.
Never have. How do humans stack up against your people in the Kett?
You lack biological advantages, but your technology may offset that.
It can't have been easy, holding out by yourselves against the Kett.
Before them, it was the Scourge. Our entire civilization was almost wiped out. Centuries of rebuilding.
It says a lot that you've made it this far.
We'll go much further.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, yes. Go.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ambassador Riala sent me to check on you. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a Kett. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but dial it down. We're guests here.
Exactly. We shouldn't have to put up with this. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters. See if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
Encryption on this message. I can't make anything.
I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
That's our man.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me.
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well. Until now.
The Vassal never accounted for outsiders living on Aya.
There's only so much room. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Kett on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
He thinks you want him dead. Tell him what you just told me, and let's move on.
Thought I was clear the first time. Maybe his translator malfunctioned.
I'll talk to our ambassador, see if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us.
Go Vajan, Pathfinder. I've been practicing the language. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Vassal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya?
I've heard of it. Why?
Angar are selling their slots to come here, so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Oh, we have to do something.
We could let Angar who give up their slots live on the Nexus. It's safer than Vold.
Exactly what I was thinking. No one should suffer on our behalf. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director 10 immediately.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.